All right. All right.
Hey, hey, hello, everybody.
Hello.
We are live. We got Rick here and Salty Army. Fat Boys Gaming and Nonsense. Oh, yeah. It was reading stuff. They still have power outages on the eastern parts of Texas over there from that hurricane. Oh, there we go. Casey, Television Gamer. Hello. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Salty Army, you need solar power.
Right? Right?
Need to go off grid.
West Texas style. And let's see, Kelly's here, of course, Polo's here.
Hello.
Any fun weekend stuff you guys did? Well, I worked. But, so that was exciting. Hey, time for the show.
Yo.
Yeah, and Kelly says, right. I think she's saying to Mike's, you need solar. Need solar. But, all right, so I'll let you guys talk. I'm going to upload the some stuff to Discord that I should have done probably yesterday.
Nice.
What you got going, Poe?
Yeah, I didn't do anything. No, I did play some more of Luigi's Mansion 2 HD by myself. And we're getting a little further. I never played that game before. My son had it on the 3DS back in the day. And of course, he played it and beat it. So I've been going through it now. And originally, I was just going through it because you had to go so far before you could play online with somebody. And since he has it down in Texas, I wanted to get that far so we could play the multiplayer together. But now I got a little bit hooked on the game. But I did get to a frustrating boss that's one of those bullcrap moments where it's like, I tried to beat him a few times and it takes forever just to get to the point I was at. And then your machine, your gun overheated, starts over again. And after that happened a couple times, I'm like, that's it. So kind of put the switch in sleep mode. It's sitting there waiting for me to come back again to that part of the mission.
Nice.
Yeah. And played some Zelda 4 Swords too last night with my boy on the Switch Online, the Game Boy Advance.
I jumped on the Switch the other day when Go Game Go was playing that Wii Sports and played some basketball with him online. And while I was playing with him, the Switch little notification, Mr. Postile is playing Luigi's Mansion 2. So I knew you were playing, and I don't remember if I said anything because I was on his show. He was streaming live when I was playing.
Yeah.
So I couldn't talk. So I think I told Kelly, hey, Post playing, but there was nothing I could do because it was just.
Yeah, well, I went and checked after I watched you guys play, and I hadn't even had Switch Sports installed again since I put the new SD card in my Switch 500 years ago. So I had to re-download the game and then do the updates and everything for it. But I did try out some of that basketball with people I didn't know online. And yeah, it was pretty fun, but just like you said, really strange controls for that thing.
Strange control scheme. And it is fun playing with people because after I joined up, he went ahead and we were playing, amongst friends kind of thing. And so that was kind of neat. And but it's tough because of the way the movements work. But it's a fun little game.
And I never have the Joy-Cons like unhooked or readily available anymore because I use the Pro controllers all the time. So I'm like, oh crap, got to get the Joy-Cons out, put the little thing on them.
Polo was asking if we played the free-to-play Lust Goddess on Steam. I didn't even know. That whole thing went by that Steam sale, and I never did get back to it to see what they had on the summer sale or any of that stuff. So, yeah. Hey, Mike's Gaming Gala. And, look here. Gideon's here. Gideon was asking in the Discord what time the show was, because it's been a while. And it's funny because I responded to him. I'm like, Yeah, 7 o'clock Eastern. I think that's like 1 a.m. for him. And then I went to Google and I was like, what time is it currently in the Netherlands? And I was right. The time different. I think I was right. Is it 1 a.m. there, Gideon? Is it 1 a.m. there now? Or just after 1:12? But yeah, Casey prefers the Pro controller. Yeah, the Steam sale I think went through the 11th.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. The 11th.
Yeah. Usually, and now a lot of times when I'm playing on the Switch now, I use the Oscar Mayer Wiener controller that Poe got me. But I knew for that game you needed the motion controls and stuff, so I just used that. Yeah. Yep. See there? 01:12 a.m. Here you go. That's dedication right there. That's dedication. 1 o'clock in the morning just to watch us. That's crazy. So, Mike, what have you been doing this week?
I've been playing Super Mario Wonder, so I went back to playing that game.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, I haven't gotten far on it, so I decided, well, I'm going to play that game. That's what I've been playing, and then I finished helping my son build his PC, so I'm at the verge of building my new computer. So I got my motherboard right here.
Nice.
So there we go. MSI, the Z790 Edge Wi-Fi. So it's a DDR5 for the RAM, and I won't have to use that stupid USB for wireless. It's built into the motherboard, so that's going to help me a lot when I do my video editing and making my videos.
Nice.
So, yeah, my old computer, the one I built when I was in college, I built it like in 2014. So that was my first gaming PC I ever built. But this one right here, I'm just buying part by part. And then I'm like looking at a case. When I get the case, I'll have to show you guys on the show what I got. It's actually going to be pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
Nice.
And the other thing that happened is just I had like family over yesterday. Had like my niece's birthday, so she wanted like a special cake. It was like it's I think it's like a Mexican cake. So how they make it, that's what she likes. So we bought one of those, and then my son, we decided we get my mom. It'd be her birthday too today, so we got her a cookies and cream little cake. So we bought that for her, and that's what we've been busy. We had just family over and doing that. Then had some family members that wanted to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi, so I just had it streaming here. They watched the whole thing. Like, I already watched this. You guys can go ahead.
And Mike's Gaming Gal is asking there. It's worse than you think, Mike, because Mike Seavey here, he's like Doogie Howser. He was in college in 2015, and he was 12.
Well, Mike, I was in college because I had my my GI Bill that I had in the Navy, so I decided to go to college like in 2010. So, yeah, the Navy paid for my college, so I went in later in life, not early in life.
Don't even get me started on the GI Bill. I paid for the GI Bill, did all that, whatever. We paid $100 a month for the first year you're in and all that stuff when we're making a total of like, when I went in, I think the E1 pay was like $700 a month or something like that. They're taking $100. And then when I got out, I waited too long because after 9 years, you have 10 years to use it. And at the 9-year mark, I said, okay, I'm going to go to college, take some courses, whatever. And the counselor lady said, it's too late. I said, why? She said, you have to be able to do a 2-year program, and you don't have time to do it before your GI Bill would expire, so you can't even. So I lost mine. I never got to use it because I waited too long.
Well, it was kind of crazy.
I was just going to take classes that I wanted to take, which she didn't like that either. I'm like, I'm not aiming for a degree. I want to take like astronomy and, things that I like. And she's like, well, you got to put them together. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, mine was, speaking of which, I had the post 9/11 GI Bill. So
Yeah,
That's the one that
much better deal.
Yeah, they came up with that later, so I signed up for that. And that entails, for anybody that doesn't know, you get paid housing allowance, which helped because I had lost my job and decided just to go to college. And instead of doing construction, that's what I was in the Navy. Did that for 8 years. I was a carpenter or builder in the Navy. I wanted to do something different than work on roofs and falling off roofs. So I decided, hey, gonna go do IT. So that's what I got in and used to post 9/11. But what kind of sucked during the time, I think, yeah, Obama was the president during that time. I had 100% on my post 9/11 GI Bill, and then they changed the paperwork. So how long you got in? So when I got out of the Navy, that was 2004. I qualified for 90%. So I still had to pay back at the college, in which I decided, well, let me see if Washington State can pay the 10% off. And I got like funding from my state to pay the rest, which was really nice. And I didn't have to pay back going to school, which is kind of ridiculous. I wanted to get the GI Bill so that way they can pay for my college. So, but in the end, it worked. Washington paid the 10%, and I didn't have to pay for any of my classes anymore.
Yeah, my brother got that post 9/11. He was in for 22 years. So even though the two of us went in at the same time, I didn't qualify. I think he went in about a year after I did, but I got out way before 9/11. So that didn't. I didn't have any option when all that post 9/11 stuff. But it's a great deal. It's a great deal.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
glad you got to take advantage of it. My brother made a killing because he didn't need the housing allowance thing. He was doing the classes and he had a really good paying job also. So he was making bank off of that. So
Oh, nice.
that's a good deal right there. But yeah, Cannabis Kid, welcome to the show. And yeah, we did. It was a brutal last few days for famous people: Shannon Doherty, Shelley Duvall, Richard Simmons, and Dr. Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Oh, that's just one of those things. I don't even know what that means. Does Dr. Ruth count as American? I think she made most of her money while she was over here. So let's see. I thought she did. I could be wrong. I don't know. She might have got her residency or whatever. Became a citizen. I'm just whipping through these guys. You guys can keep talking.
Did the Hollywood Polo ask what I'm drinking? Well, in case you are, it's G Fuel Zero Sugar, the Tetris drink.
Nice.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, and someone from the show Alf.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Elf Kid. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Oh. I wonder if Kelly's trying to use the talk to text when she's doing and then it's hearing us.
Oh,
My mom said, "Is that show going to be on the whole time you're here?" It depends on how long. If you plan on being at your mom's less than 4 hours, yeah, we'll be there the whole time. Yeah. So let's see. Up here, there was a. Did you have any? Were you done, Mike? Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
sure. I could, if you didn't mind sharing your screen, I found two things I want to share with you guys today. Let's see. I'm going to preset share video.
G Parker difficulty. Yeah.
What's that?
Mike's Gaming Gala did a gameplay for a future review of a game that he could only describe as G Parker difficulty.
Oh,
So easy. Every time you fire a bullet, you get an extra life. And Greg still only got 400 points.
all right. I got it ready whenever you can share it.
Alrighty, add to stage. There we go.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw that pop in my feed, and I'm like, oh, it looks like the people that made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge did the game. Kind of looks like that.
Oh, cool.
That's what Derek's saying. Karate Kid got the Ninja Turtle Shredder Ranch freaking.
Oh yeah.
And I get, sorry, Mike, while that was playing, it just this made me realize when we talked about Greg. Greg isn't feeling well. That's why he's not here tonight. It's not just that he had family obligations or something like that. Obligations? I think I said obligations. He didn't have those either, but he didn't have. He's not feeling well. He's having a rough couple of days, and he still managed to set the show up for us and set up the pinball tournament. But so, Greg, if you're watching this, I'm not going to go as far as say we miss you, but we noticed you're not here.
Get better. Get better.
Yeah, get better, buddy.
Yeah.
Get better.
Get better. Get
Yeah.
well.
There we go. Okay, now we can get back to the shoe. Let's see. Looks like Shredder's Revenge did really good in quick render switch. Yeah, that's pretty cool though. It looked really good.
Oh yeah.
So, what else you got to say about it? I wasn't listening to half of what you were saying because I was trying to find the thing and bring up Greg.
No, it looks fun. I'm probably gonna pick it up. It's probably gonna be like for all the other systems as well. So you don't necessarily have to get it for the Switch. So
Yeah,
I'm hoping to get a physical release because that's the one I plan on buying.
Nice. Look at Kelly with a shameless self-plug.
Popeye hat. There you go. Popeye pin. Where's it at? There it is.
Yeah. I don't know.
I actually put a do-rag on under it because it's so freaking hot in here. I'm sweating and I didn't want to ruin my hat. So
I don't know what. I'm just going to warn you right now, Mike, because I don't know what's with that Boston Scally place that Poe always talk. I ordered myself a Popeye hat and a pin and everything. They sent it to Poe's address. I don't know how that worked. I've been waiting for weeks for that hat to get here, and all of a sudden Poe's like, "Look at what I got," and I was wondering why my account said it was hacked. They just said,
well, they do have a distribution center in PA. That's why they get here fairly quick. So
Yeah.
if you guys order something, I just have them bring it straight here.
Right. It's funny talking about that because I saw where it shipped from. Because, in all seriousness, if people didn't watch the thing, and I'm not shameless plugging, but Kelly and I bought that hat for Poe for his birthday, and I'd never ordered from them before, and I was actually scared because the day that it was supposed to be delivered, I clicked on the link for tracking, and I saw where it ships from. It's not far from Pittsburgh, and then it showed the next day it was in Pittsburgh. And then it was saying it was on its way, like, just northwest of Philly. I'm like, where the heck is it going now? And then I went to the actual post office site, and it said it was out for delivery. And but I'm like, oh, shit, they just sent his hat. They're going to send it over. I don't know. It's going up to Chaos's house or something. I don't know where it's headed.
And the mailmen here, they usually... Sometimes they bring the packages when they bring the mail, but a lot of times they'll drop off the packages earlier in the day. They'll have somebody drive them around. And that day it was supposed to be here, that it did end up getting here. It wasn't there after the mail came and everything, and it was getting later than when packages normally come. I'm like, those bastards, they just didn't feel like delivering the thing, So I was sitting out there on the porch, and then the mail truck showed up. And I'm like, oh yeah, here it is.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it was a fairly painless. The only thing I had is they didn't like because I paid. They kept wanting to switch my shipping address because as soon as I entered in my payment stuff, it was like, well, you don't live in Pennsylvania. I'm like, I know. So I had to enter your address like 3 times. And by the time you're entering it the third time, you're like, I fucked it up somewhere. So I'm like reading it super slow. Is this right? Because there's no way you can type in the address that many times without typoing. And then the shipping thing happened. So I looked it up again. I looked up your zip code and all. Why is it going over there? What the? Oh, okay. So, I don't know if you've ever had that issue, because I clicked on the link in their website, and that's where it was giving me the erroneous delivery information. So then I opened up the post office's and typed in the code.
We've ordered so much from them between my son and myself. It's like just like any other site you go to, they already have your information. Boom, you hit the button, and it's on its way.
Yeah.
Although I do have to watch with Amazon, because I sent you stuff through Amazon, so I got to make sure I'm not shipping it to you all the time, and they have my address in for other stuff.
Oh no, you can just use it. It's fine. I mean, it'll be good. See, now Mike had issues when he sent me that Robotron thing, because they didn't like you using the hotel address, right? Is that what you said, Mike?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It didn't show. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's weird when you ship stuff here, but and see, it started something, Mike, because now I ordered 4 more of those things. And I'm gonna decorate up the side of my pinball cabinet with those deals. So, oh look, here we go. Let's see. Cannabis said someone released a Karate Kid game for open board called Super Karate Kid. Farrell's here. What's up, Farrell? Karate Kid looks awesome. Oh, look. Mike was already on it. He was typing to Farrell while I was.
I try to say hello to anybody in my chat area.
Yeah. But that place, they do some advertising, Huppo, because I think I get an email from them now every other day.
Yeah, you're going to get emails, probably texts, and I all of a sudden show up in your Facebook feed like every other post. But I did miss that one, because they did post about it 3 days ahead of time, and it actually has been, I don't know, maybe 5 months since I ordered from them. I've just been deleting everything as soon as I get it from them lately. So I totally missed that they were making the Popeye hat until it came out.
Yeah, and we just snuck in for the people that weren't aware of how that worked out. But Poe posted a thing that they were out. We ordered it within just like an hour or so after you mentioned it, which was shortly after they became available, if I remember correctly. And
I think the very next day they were down to like the extra small hats, and that was it, I think. And then the day after that, they're gone. Everything's gone.
Well, that's it. Those extra smalls are in case you want to, if the carpet wants to match the drapes.
Get a matching little Popeye.
Yeah. Let's see. Gideon said, your hat reminds me of a typical farmer's hat we see here most farmers wear. Interesting. They wear Popeye hats when they go. Yeah. Yeah.
My son always calls it the newspaper boy hat, from back in the day.
Right. They are cool hats, though. They are cool hats.
Yeah, they have some really nice ones.
Yeah. I haven't worn hats in a long time. But who knows? Maybe I'll buy one now because I'm getting all these advertisements. And they'll be like, hey, here's a great deal on one. But, yeah, that's cool. Because you got that extra bag and all that stuff we didn't even know was coming. There you go. He's up by the tuber, man.
Popeye.
Sounds like he's a potato guy. The tuber man.
Tuber eater.
All right. Well, should we talk about the this week's challenges that we had?
Sure. Sounds good.
Sure.
Let's see. We'll pull up. I got your Spider Fighter that Poe had chosen. And let's see. Boom. Look at this. There's a little bit of a drop off from third to fourth. I'm not sure what happened. From second to third.
Kylo Ren played? Is that my screen's small, so I could.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
It's no fair using the force for the challenge.
Yeah. Casey didn't get to play. He still said,
Hey, once he saw mine and Mike's score, he was afraid to play.
yeah. Well, Poe, you posted your score a little too early, and you left Mike enough time to come in and snake you. But
Yeah, but it happens.
yeah,
I like that you can see people's scores. I like to know what you're up against when we do these challenges, so I'm glad that we all post them throughout
Right.
the week.
right. And I think Mike still gave you props though, Poe, because he was saying what'd you get, 170 something thousand, and you were using the original jar.
Oh yeah, I had
joystick.
the original CX40. That when I was a kid, I don't remember because we played so much using it, but it just kills my hands now playing with this thing, especially a game like that, Spider Fighter, when it's so fast, and original hardware, you can't pause the thing. You better not have to go to the bathroom or anything while you're playing, because once you kill that last one, it goes right into the next one. So that's a crazy game. I actually got to the point both times with those two higher scores. As much as I love the game, I was like, I'm kind of done with this. I don't want to sit here for an hour and a half or 2 hours to play one game.
Look at Casey, he's throwing some shit. I could totally beat Mike if I played. And you're thinking he's talking to smack with Mike's Gaming Gala until he says, yeah, 14-4 is doable. So he's got it for you. He's got it for you, Mike. Not Mike's Gaming Gala. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Richard Bliss is here. Sorry I'm late.
Hey, Bliss.
You missed the giveaway, Phil. Everyone that was here for the first 27 minutes got a free Popeye hat like Pose. And
we gave them the new Spider Fighter for the Intellivision homebrew that you didn't know anything about. Only I did, but I just made up.
You don't know how Poe got 300K on a flashback.
My portable here somewhere too, and I haven't touched this thing in forever. But after playing with that joystick, I'm like, no. So I grabbed the old wood grain PlayStation Portable, and that was my first try on this thing. Actually, I was surprised myself. I just kept going. I'm like, holy crap! I thought for sure I'd get wiped out after a couple thousand points. So I'm sitting there playing that, and yeah, next thing I know, my son was calling me and stuff too. And luckily, this one does have a pause button on it. So when my son called, I went ahead and paused it. I had to go back. I was hoping that I paused it and didn't let it just kill me there. But.
Yeah. Now, after he went through and said all of that, I'm just gonna have to out you, Poe, because Poe accidentally texted our little chat group instead of his wife, and he thought he was texting her, and he's like, honey, you need to come play Spider Fighter. I just need to flip off the screen at the end. And
put the finger in there.
Yeah. No, because she don't. Now that's made up. She didn't really play it. She only gets involved and plays for Poe in the ping pong tournaments. That's the only time she plays. Yeah. Bliss said, nice Popeye hat.
Oh, thank you.
And then those buttons and D-pads are horrible. Horrible.
Yes, the fire button kept kind of sticking. It was kind of crunchy there.
Portables have a Game Genie pre-installed.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Oh, T-Dog is in the house. He wanted to be recognized. Hey, every house needs a foundation. Every building. If you don't have footers down there, but you're still not in last, T-Dog, because everyone who didn't play is in last. Like Hollywood Polo, Intellivision Gamer. You're ahead of these guys. So don't worry.
I think it was such a rough game that he blew up his whole handheld, didn't he? Playing Spider Fighter.
Yeah. Let me get over here. Let me close that. Oh, I can't scroll. No one else's chat. I was going to scroll the top 3 scores off of the screen, So it would just start at Phil's score and say, these are the only real people that didn't cheat are down here. So, Phil, congratulations, you won. I came in second. Mike, you were third. Greg's in fourth. Derek with the top 5 finish. And T-Dog, in all real, you did get a top 10 finish. Even counting these 3, you're in the top 10. So that's something to be proud of. That is something to be proud of. Yeah. Bliss he'll be signing autographs after the show. Just hang out in the Discord, and Bliss will autograph his 38 460. That's going to be his new channel name, Retro Bliss 38 460. Okay, we need to move on because I'm just saying shit. I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay, let's.
But that is a great game. I love going back to the 2600 for some of these challenges, just in case some people have never played these games before. It gives you a chance to. I know T-Dog didn't like it. He's got bad taste. Just kidding, T-Dog. Kidding.
Yeah, and I've never played the game before. I don't think I've ever seen it before. I know Poe did a video on it at one point, but I didn't like him then, so I didn't watch his old stuff.
I looked back, and I think that was like 2 years ago or something. I don't know, I've had my channel for 500 years and have the same amount of subs I had when I started. So,
Well, I had to quit playing the game because I'm scared of spiders. So that's my reason for quitting.
Yeah,
I was too scared.
I've been lucky so far because I got that Raspberry Pi, and I put the Batacera on there and downloaded that thing. It's supposed to have every Atari game that was ever came out for the 2600, and you haven't picked one yet that I don't have. So that's pretty cool. And it says it has every NES game, so far you guys pick console games. I just load up the Pi, go to that console, and I have it. So I feel pretty lucky with that. But Bliss is saying, Poe, if you can't beat them,
eat them.
I enjoyed that game. The first time I played it, I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is fast and just going crazy. And then I put it away, I put it down for a little bit, and then when I came back to it, I got that 26.3, which I think at the time when I posted that, I was at the top of the board. And I'm like, I'm done. Look at this. I am winning. And then people started playing who know the game. And I'm like, oh, wait, hang on. So,
And for the most part, if you just stay over where they spawn and move just a little bit, when they're shooting at you, you'll be okay. But every once in a while, somebody will go wild. And then when you get that purplish, bluish bar across the top and bottom, that's when the first one's going to come out, and he's indestructible for a while. He's bouncing around like a mother. You can tell he has like a stripe through the center of him, and then he'll start laying all the bait. So they cheat. They're cheaters whenever that comes around, because he'll bounce around like crazy and just start shooting your ass.
Well, when I was watching Phil play live, I think Derek said something about the fact that his first few games he was moving around a lot more, and then all of a sudden he started getting better scores, and he was barely moving.
Yeah.
And then I think Mike's Gaming Gala said, "Yeah, that's the ticket. You don't want to move any more than you have to." And because I was just going all over the place trying to get away from stuff, and so
it got to the point when I was playing it, like I said, that part where he's invincible at first for that round, that's like the dreaded round each time, because the other ones, most of the time, you can wipe them out quick. After you beat each round, you get another life. If you have all of your lives, then you get a bonus 500 each time. So that's what you're trying for, but then some little bastard will sneak in a kill on you, and then you won't get your bonus right at the end or whatever.
T-Dog says he likes Pac-Man on the 2600 better. You and Phil, Retro Bliss says that all the time.
It's still sitting here in Spider Fighter.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
I'll take Pac-Man.
I got Spider Fighter fever.
Yeah. And then let's see. G-Dog has spoken. All right, yeah. So
G-Dog's been smoking? Is that what he said?
G-Dog has spoken. So this week we're going to roll into an arcade challenge, because last week was a console challenge.
Right.
And I went ahead and made a call on that one. Well, I bounced off these guys, and they're like, yeah, let's do that. So, and I made a little video. Now, don't get discouraged when you see the score I get on this video. If you guys practice enough, you might have a chance. But yeah, so let me see if I can find the video I did. And this will be this week's arcade challenge. So it is an arcade version. And here we go.
All right, hello, welcome back to the next arcade challenge. Hopefully the air conditioner isn't too bad. It's like 93 degrees in here. It is 4:30 in the afternoon, Saturday afternoon. Worked all day. The air conditioner on for like an hour. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. Oh well. All right, so this week's arcade challenge is Moon Patrol, the arcade version. I believe this version is the arcade version. I bought it through iArcade. I couldn't find anything saying it wasn't. Poe couldn't find anything. We're pretty 99% sure this is the arcade version. If I find out that it's not, I'll install the arcade version and play it again. But so let's see. Fire, jump. It's really all. And I think it's just a 4-way, because I don't think you can. Oh, let me see. Let's get back out. Moon Patrol. Yeah, it says 4-way joystick. Okay. Let's turn up a little bit of volume, and we're doing 1/4. Just play. However far you can make it. No continues. I haven't played this in forever, so. As you can tell. I'm just holding it floored. I didn't know you could shoot the rocks. You get points for shooting the rocks? I don't know. Looks like my high score on here is 69-30. 69, dude. Made it to E. Oh, my pinky locked up. What does that mean? Top right. Oh, it's timed? I didn't know that. We're going to keep her floored then. As much as I can. Should have jumped. It didn't shoot it. Wow, all right. I learned my lesson. 4,700. No continues. No continues. Yeah, this will be a quick video because this is just for the show. This is just for the show. Hopefully I do better than this. Hopefully you do better than this. 4,740. If you can't beat that, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to play another game right after this. But for now, let's get back to the show. Peace.
Jeez.
Love this game. I played this
Yeah,
as
it's a
kid.
classic.
Mhm.
That came out for like almost everything back in the day. I know I have it for the 2600 and 5200. I know there was a homebrew of it for ColecoVision. I don't think there was an official release for ColecoVision.
Nice. Oh, nice cannabis. Nice. It is nice because look, Casey says nice. Was this on the Texas Instrument console? I didn't know.
It was on a lot of computers back then. So
Yeah, oh,
How about
yeah.
a hard-
If you wait, it'll show your score again there. Yeah.
Uh,
Can't compete with that. Yeah, I know. I set the bar pretty high. Yeah, I did play another game right after that, and I did beat that score. But yeah, you could tell how long it had been since I'd played it because I'm like, oh, you can shoot those rocks. Oh, it was timed. You can get a bonus. I'm like, shoot, I didn't even remember how to play. But it is a fun game. As soon as I saw, and that is one of the ones I paid for on the arcade.
yeah, me
Before
too.
we went out of business. And because at that time we didn't know that the big mystery coder chip was coming out, but and I don't feel bad about the ones I paid for that I could have got later. It's fine, But yeah, so get in on the challenge. It will end Saturday night, and Mike set the bar at midnight his time, Pacific time, but I kind of let it slip that I do the spreadsheet, the final spreadsheet, when I wake up at 4:00 in the morning, which is 2:00 a.m. Pacific time on Sunday morning. So if your score gets in before I wake up, I'll put it on there. So
If it gets in before he wakes up, screw you guys, you're cheaters.
you're
No, just
cheating.
kidding. They count.
You post it after Poe plays, it's too late. But
And that game, if you don't have MAME or emulators or whatever, it is on the arcade archives for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Switch. If you're willing to pay the $7.99 for it, they have the arcade version, and they even have a high score mode on there. And all high score mode is it gives you 1 credit for the game, which is what we do in our challenges anyway. So you just hit that high score mode, and once you're dead, it throws your score up there. That's it.
nice. Yeah, that is a fun game, and I put it up there while my video was playing. Mike's Gaming Gallo was saying, yeah, he liked the music, and it does get stuck in your head. When I played that yesterday after work, the whole rest of the evening, just going through my head until I went to sleep.
I do that music sometimes when I'm feeling frisky and walking in the bedroom like, here I come, ding, 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 for Uranus.
Yeah, Mike, you need to get yourself a MAME set up. Well, apparently you can get with Cannabis Kid because he has a business manufacturing MAME cades. I'm sure he'll cut you a deal since you are a fan of the show. But
It's only $9,000 Canadian for shipping for that thing.
right,
or buy the arcade cabinet.
Yeah, just buy the arcade cabinet.
Yeah, that would be an awesome cabinet to get. I love the arcade cabinet to that.
yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a neat cabinet. Yeah,
Get it on Switch. Do you have a Switch?
yeah.
You have a Switch or a PlayStation 4 or 5 there if you want to spend $8 for a weekly challenge.
Right, right. Yeah. Or if anyone is in the west half of Texas and you want to come by, I'll let you play on my arcade for free. But yeah, so just swing on by. But I'd buy that for $1. So yeah, so get in on it. Post your pictures of your score with or without flipping the bird.
Nah, you got to have the middle finger. It doesn't
Middle
count.
finger.
And write the
Post it.
date. Write the date on your finger.
Write the date on
See
your
it.
finger. Yeah. There you go. See, Gideon's, yeah, just pay a few $1,000 or euros to get to Texas. It's well worth it. It's well worth it. Especially this time of year because I am below 90 degrees out here, so it's nice and balmy in the arcade trailer. So, yeah, the Switch doesn't have a game genie. Yeah,
I'm sure it would have a rewind for you, Derek. Cheater.
right. All right. So let's see. We talked about the pinball thing. Since Greg went out of his way to make a tournament, we should probably
Sure.
talk about the tournament. Yeah. If you're visiting here, Mike's Gaming, bring a tent. Yeah, we are in a tiny house, so we don't have a whole lot of room. So let's see. Brothers in Arms was the table. Oh shoot! I uploaded the wrong stinking one. Hold on, let's take that back down because I uploaded the wrong spreadsheet in my haste.
Oh.
Because it wasn't sorted by the score. Well, what the heck? Did I not take a screenshot while it was sorted? Well, we'll just do it. Look, everyone's on there. They're just not sorted in order. But because
Oh, that's pretty close for me. Way at the bottom.
Ed from Digital Victory, he ended up on top. That 46,499,000. That's Ed.
Nice.
Digital Victory. GTH 2370 was second place, and he won the first 3 weeks. Then I was in third, just above Classic Rock King. I think the rest of these are in order. It was just that Ed did get on top. T-Dog, look at T-Dog right up here. Right below Classic Rock. Mike, you had 18 million. Derek had 14. Poe had 11.7, and Greg had 10.3. Pretty good. What? Hold on. What is this? Derek, can you kick yourself off Discord?
Derek, you're out of
If you get a minute, mute yourself.
here. Who gives that guy a wrench?
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. Got you a great deal, Mike, but international shipping is a pain. Shipping would probably, yeah, it would be more than the unit, maybe. You gotta love it when that happens. So let's see. I'll quick throw these up since I'm doing double duty here, and let me pull up the standings for the 5-week. GTH is DCOM 52. For those of you that play in the arcade, he plays under DCOM 52 for that. He got 15 points. I have 11 with my third place. Classic Rock has 7 points. And then everyone that played every week has 4 points, and Digital Victory, by having a win, catches up to them. Derek with 3. I don't know what happened. 0 week 2, Derek. And Papa Brad played last week. So that's where the weekly standings are playing. And you can see it doesn't take much to get back up into the hunt.
Right?
They played 1 week. So if you haven't played in the pinball tournaments, you can jump in this week 5 and you can still get up there. So all it takes is 1 good week. So
Yeah, I have a different name for me whenever I play pinball. I'm Digital Disappointment. That's the name of my channel for that.
that's hilarious. So, and I guess, let me see, Greg made a banner. I've never done this. Oh, here it is. This week's pinball tournament is the Mandalorian. Mandalorian Star Wars table, code NQ03. I think it is the letter O, not the 0. I didn't have a chance to double check that. I think it is the letter O. If it's not, then try the 0. I've had pretty good luck the last couple of weeks. I just been logging on and scrolling down and looking for the table, and I find Greg's tournament. It'll be G Parker, and then the password is the same as every week so far. It's just The Show, all one word. These are on Pinball FX on any system except for the Switch. The Switch cannot join those. If you have a Switch and you want to get in on the Mandalorian, just let me know, and I'll make a tournament on the Switch, and ask me in Discord, and I'll post the code if someone wants to play. The first week we included the Switch, and nobody played on it except for me and Greg. So we're not messing around. So so Pinball FX on any system that is not called the Switch. The Mandalorian, look for the tournament code NQO or 0, but I think it's 03, password The Show. He sets them up for days.
You know what I'm talking about. Oh, come on. Office space. My O face.
We set them up for 5 days, so it'll end whatever time Greg made it today, which I'm thinking was around 2 o'clock Central Time. Don't hold me to that, but I think that's about when he said he was doing it. And so Friday, sometime in the afternoon. Don't dawdle on it if you want to get in. Play. Let's see. I would play Mandalorian, but I'm not on Discord anymore. Oh, well, you don't have to, but because we get the scores off of FX. So,
yeah.
But, yeah, Rick, how come you're not on Discord? I don't know. The O face. Yeah, Mike, because look, played one round already ahead of Derek.
Lumber. Monster. Lumber. Come on, guys. Office space.
You picked a good tournament to play since I'm giving you guys a break. Yeah. So that's our big challenges. So we got the Moon Patrol and we got the Mandalorian on Pinball FX. So get in on them. After this week 5, we'll be going into. Hey, my little grandfather clock's dinging. Can you hear that? After this week 5, we will be going into the playoffs, and it looks like it's going to be pretty much everybody who's played can get into the playoffs, except for myself and G. Parker, of course. So I think everyone else is going to be in the playoffs, and we'll probably do 2 weeks, and then maybe 2 weeks will get down to 2 people, and then they do get out. So, yeah. And Derek says he's put it on the Discord already. Current pinball table info posted in Discord. Yo, Decon, leave these. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Are we playing?
My Little Pony, My Little Pony.
Oh, Mike's Little Pony. My
Major
Little
League Pony.
Yeah. That might be a playoff game. It might be the 1 ball, 1 try challenge. My Little Pony. Mike's like, yeah, that's as much as that table I can stomach. Is what?
Do I have to buy that game?
Yeah. I am not a huge fan of the theme of My Little Pony, but it is a fun table. I did enjoy that table when I bought it.
I mean, if it just had the Moon Patrol theme, it would have been a good game.
Derek, Major League Oh, no. Okay, wait, hold on.
Oh, no.
Epic
Oh.
Final. Oh, let me know your secrets. Leave these guys out. I get what you're saying. The Lamac threw me off. I was like, I don't even know what that says.
Return of Lamac. Return of Lamac.
Yeah, Decon, he's a pretty good player. He's had some really good weeks. He's won every week except for this one when Digital Victory came in. And if you don't, I should have probably sent Ed an invite. He could have came on the show tonight since he won the thing, but I didn't have time to send it to him. So if you're watching this on replay, Ed, sorry. But he has a great channel. Check out Digital Victory's channel. He explains a lot of good stuff on how to play these pinball tables. So it's a good resource to have if you want to improve your pinball playing skills. All right. That's all I got. Hope, it's your show.
I watched the new Beverly Hills Cop. Well, actually, I went back through and I watched part 1 and part 2 again. Those 3 are on Netflix. Actually, the new one is a Netflix movie. Didn't get to watch part 3 because it's not on Netflix. So, but I wanted to refresh before I watched the new one. And it's right up there with the first 2, you know.
Nice.
Funny parts and stuff like that. So, yeah, if you have Netflix, check it out. Only thing that was missing, I think, was Eddie Murphy didn't do his laugh that he does in all the other movies. He must have thrown out of the laugh.
Wow. Yeah, I'll have to. I saw you said you were watching that, and I haven't had an opportunity to check that out myself. But it is on.
They bring back all the favorites, all these cops that have been cops for 40 years and still haven't retired yet. They're all like 80 now, running around
nice
from machine guns and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Rick says part 3 is on YouTube for free.
Oh, is it? Okay. I did see it was on Prime, but you had to rent it on Prime, and I'm like, I'll keep my $5. Yes, they definitely play that a lot in the new one. Even like different versions of it. There's a rat version and everything.
Oh, they don't have a Game Genie for Mandalorian Pinball. One thing I will say about that Mandalorian Pinball, real quick, getting up back off of the on the Quest 2, that Star Wars Pinball. It's really neat to play that table, that Mandalorian table, because Mando's standing over there to the right side of the table, and Baby Yoda's over there. Grogu, he's in his little pod on the left side of the table. It's pretty badass. But yeah, so Beverly Hills Cop is worth the watch.
Yeah, I liked it.
Excellent.
And I'm pretty sure Derek watched it. We discussed a little bit in the Discord. So my wife, she's like, whenever she has control of the TV, we're just watching murder mysteries. I think she's just doing research to see what to do to me without forensic scientists figuring it out. So when I want to watch those movies, it has to be when it's just me there, you know. So then I try to do a marathon.
See, I never have to worry about that anymore, because ever since Texas blocked Pornhub, Kelly doesn't choose anything. That's all she ever chooses. And now that she can't turn it on, she just gives me the remote. She's like, why bother?
That wouldn't be too bad if she's sitting there taking notes like my wife does during the murder mysteries. Cyanide, you know, right. Down. Unless the note she's writing down is pegging, but you know, no, nothing to do with that.
Yeah. She'll give me the remote, and I'll turn on YouTube, and then she'll hear dun, 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 and then she says, "Oh yeah, I do have to go clean the toilet." Every time we got the cleanest toilet whenever Poe does a lot of videos in 1 week,
which doesn't happen too often. Maybe about every couple of months, I'll do like 5 at the beginning of the week, then I'm back to my 1 video again.
Yeah. Let's see.
And not one good one, like the Gaming Road Warrior has. That Castlevania one kicked ass again. And I saved that one, because usually I like to watch them the evening they first come out, but I saved that one for like that weekend for my entertainment. So
Nice.
That's the one you said you were going to mute this, figure out how to mute Mike's voice so you could voice over your own voice and release it on your channel?
Just stick my head in there.
Yeah.
I remember not beating this game back in the day.
It's the next old Poe video. Gaming Road Warrior tried to steal my idea.
Oh, there was a game. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah, it has high reviews according to Cannabis Kid. It's a hit version. Oh wait, that doesn't say hit. Oh, I thought it was $5 hit.
I never had a PS2 ever. The only PlayStation I didn't have. I went to Xbox that generation because my older brother had one. And at the time we were living in the same town. He lived a few blocks over. He was renting a place. We bought a place, and we just had our new baby, my daughter, at the time. So he would buy a lot of games because he was single. So I would just walk up to his place and borrow all of his games for that Xbox.
Nice.
And I did see this year Hallmark is bringing out the Xbox OG Christmas ornament. So that falls right in line with all those other little ornaments I showed you guys. They have the Xbox, and it plays the startup sound of the Xbox, and then it plays the theme to Halo. So,
Yeah.
That's funny you say that. I have on my Xbox Series X, you can change the wallpaper on it. So I got the original Xbox,
oh,
and
cool.
it's part of their thing that you can change it, and it has the glowing green ball in the center.
Oh, that's
So it's like moving. So it's like it looks like the original OG Xbox intro.
Nice. Yeah, that was the last Xbox I ever had at my household. I got the original Xbox for the kids and soldered the mod chip in it. And yeah, scary times. But I've never owned a PlayStation, any version of PlayStation. But now that I know Derek and Christmas is coming, I'm holding out hope.
It's on the wish list. Check out
Go
my
get
wish
one
list.
from Wish.com.
Right?
The Playbox 5.
I'm gonna put a what do they call those things? GoFundMe page. See if I can. I do a show with these gamer guys, and I don't even have a PlayStation. So please, I'm so deprived. Please. But, love the OG Xbox, says Mike. But,
Yeah, I think I only ever owned probably less than 10 games for mine because my brother owned everything. I'm like, can I borrow that? Yeah, come on up. I borrow that? Yep. All right. So, that was
nice.
Yeah, I got like two of them at my house on the count of remember Splinter Cell? I think it was the second game, and you can play spies versus security. I think so. If you hooked up two Xboxes, right, you can kind of have a LAN party. So that's the only reason I bought it, but it did require having another friend over.
right.
So it's like, oh, okay, I need another friend to play with me on this.
I ended up actually using mine a lot more for a DVD player back in the day than I did playing games on the thing. So, I bought the little remote.
You bought the
little
remote
for it.
Yeah, I got that. I got that too. I bought it for that as well.
Yeah.
And another thing I loved about it is you could put music CDs in.
Oh yeah.
And then, whoops, just knocked everything over. Put all your music on there. Then I had one of the wrestling games where you could put in, build your own character. So I had my character would come into Kisses Going Blind. But then I made my buddy's character. I made him as short as he could be and like 500 pounds. And I had him in pink tights and a crown. And he came into baby, bye, bye, bye. So he would come into that music, and whenever he would win, he would go out, and that music would start playing. My wife had that CD at the time. And so when he came over to play, I said, no, I already made you a character. He was so jacked off. That character I made for him.
That's
good
funny.
old days.
Yeah. Poe's wife had that CD.
Yeah, baby, bye, bye, bye.
Yeah. Let's see. Derek said, "Poe knocked over your pile." That's your retro pile for anything anyone obscurely mentions, and Poe happens to just reach down and pull it out.
It's on the floor now.
On the floor, the whole pile's on the floor now.
Yeah. I meant to set up one of those GoFundMe pages so I could get my PlayStation 5, but I accidentally set up an OnlyFans, and I got my first few subscribers, but then I realized I screwed up the payment thing, and I owe them money. I don't know how that works. If we gotta watch you, you pay us, and even they unsubscribe. They're like, it isn't worth it. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Oh, see, I'm all leaning back in the chair now, and I can't hardly read the chats because I don't have my glasses on. So some of these I'm putting up there just to see what they actually said. T-Dogs, lol, which with a stutter, lol. Still waiting on his check. Yeah, see, Mike was my first subscriber. I wasn't going to out you, but yeah. And then I found out he watched for 7 minutes and I owed him $800. I don't know what happened. and yeah. But,
every time I finally remember it's Thursday night, you're not on live. When I forget that it's Thursday, you're on there live. You do that on purpose.
oh, yeah. No, I just blocked you. No, you know what happened? Thursday night, we were laying in bed. It was probably close to 10 o'clock. And I was like, I never went live tonight. Whoops. I forget what we were watching. We were watching something on TV, and 6 o'clock came and went. And then I came this close on Friday night. I was going to do, and like I did before, I was going to leave it, say, Thursday night pinball, and then put in parentheses Friday edition, and go live. Man,
I waited and waited for you to come on. I even didn't do my early shower. And my wife came by and she's like, take a shower, you stink. And like the 10-year-old I am, I'm like, you stink. So I guess I got her.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely forgot until I was laying in bed. And like I said, I was going to do Friday night, but it was hot out here. And it's like, I'm laying and sitting on the couch in the air conditioning. It's like, or I could go out there. No, I'm fine. Yeah. Thought I was going to say we were laying in bed. I was thinking of Poe. Well, in a way, I was thinking of Poe because I thought, oh, I didn't even do the Thursday night show, and Poe's going to say something about it. But
I do like the Thursday night show.
Yeah, it's fun. I do like doing those live streams. I know why like Phil does them like every day because it's more fun to play some of those games when people are watching and chatting, and even if you can't keep up on the chat, it's people are chatting amongst themselves.
And a lot of times I forget. Mike's Gaming Gala will do a Saturday afternoon one, and I forget, and then I'm late. And then yesterday I'm like, "Where's he at?" And I'm looking, and he wasn't on. So you guys both really disappointed this week. Thanks for that.
Yeah, Saturday I'm always at work. I'm working the weekend, so I can't. It's hard for me to catch. I'll get notifications, and if I happen to have a break, I'll see someone's on live, and I jump on. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then the phone rings. I'm like, "It's pretty bad at work." This morning I sat down. Poe's my other OnlyFans. This morning I sat down to eat my breakfast. I always eat my breakfast right around 6:30 in the morning because people start getting up and wanting to check out of a hotel around 7 usually. Between 6 and 7, it's really dead. Freaking, what is it? Hotel Engine, the third party where you can do online bookings. They're trying to fax us some, and we don't have a fax machine. So it just keeps, and they have their fax machine on that auto redialer. So I sit down to eat, which I'm not going to eat behind the counter at the hotel, and someone comes walking up and I've got a mouthful of food. So I go sit off to the side, and then the phone rings, and I leave my food over there, walk over to them again, answer, hang up, walk back, sit down, get one more bite. It rings again. I'm like, these freaking son of a- Yeah, but that's the way it always works at that place. If you get, it'll be dead for 2 hours. I don't do a thing. But then I'll run in to use the bathroom. I'll come back. There's 6 people waiting at the counter. It's like, what are you people doing?
And you mentioned Bliss's live stuff. I'm going to miss that when I finally have to go back to work because I work a steady day shift, 10 hours. So sometimes I would catch some of his streams real quick during a lunch break or whatever, you know. And now that I'm off, it's just like, okay, Bliss should be on. Go downstairs and sit with the cats like an old crazy cat woman and watch Bliss for an hour.
Yeah, I try to catch Bliss as often as I can, but he's usually on around close to 11 my time. It seems like he's coming on. And it just seems like that's the time of the morning because I'll come out here first thing in the morning when it's still cool out, and I can come in here drive this truck stem or fly or something like that. And then I'm getting into my morning stuff. And then I come back in the house at lunchtime around 12 and I'll be like, hey, Bliss is on. And then when I click play, it's oh, wait, the stream ended 3 minutes ago or something. It's like, dang it.
Yeah, he doesn't mess around. When he gets to that hour mark, all of a sudden it's Bliss's face on the screen real big again. He's like, okay, guys, see you later. Bye. So,
Right. Yeah. So I miss his stream a lot. But, you're pretty good about telling us, hey, Bliss is on, especially when he's doing our challenge. I always try to make sure I'll pull off of whatever else I'm doing to watch him if he's doing our challenge. But yeah, but it is fun doing those streams. And lately I've been watching Go Game Go play because it works out. I think he goes live while I'm eating lunch is the deal. So I'm like, oh, I'm eating. He's live. Put him on. So
yeah, I like this channel a lot.
yeah, he's a pretty good guy. And he plays a lot of games that I've never heard of. He plays a lot of Switch games and then some older stuff too. So anyway, so what do you got, Mike?
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking and I'm tired of Poe. So
Yeah, so what I've been watching, I watched was it The Last Ship? I don't know if you guys have heard of that show. So I was on season 2 and finished up to season 4 on that, and it was a pretty good series. It's about a Navy destroyer. Have you seen it, Bart? Poe? Yeah, and I
No.
guess they're looking for like the cure to this plague that was killing people globally around the earth. So it was like produced by, I think, Michael Bay. So those over the top explosion sequences. But I really like the characters because he made the captain kind of like Captain Kirk, where he doesn't take gruff from anybody. He's willing to punch your lights out. That kind of typical person that I like seeing in command. Said like, oh, we need to negotiate. He's like, nah, I'm just gonna knock the guy out. So pretty much.
nice.
I love that. Just like he doesn't take gruff from anybody. But yeah, a really good show. I ended up, like I said, finishing it off, and then I had a godfather that liked stopping by here at the house, so I actually I had the first season. I like, you got to check out the show, so I actually let him borrow my Blu-ray. So that's what we've been watching, and then I let my son watch with me Billy Madison. He's never seen that, and I'm like, oh, he's a teenager now, so I can allow him to watch that. And he laughed at that, especially that part where his girlfriend, the one that plays Sonya off Mortal Kombat, she starts kicking Billy Madison's butt all over the place at the swimming pool. And his two drunk friends, what was it, McDowell?
Norm McDonald.
He's like, hey, Billy's up. Oh, they must have, I forgot what they were doing, but it's like, oh, Marco Polo, and she's like drowning.
Marco Polo. What a great game, he said.
Oh, yeah. And then the Penguin, remember when it's like Nudie Magazine Day? Oh. Yeah, I didn't realize this when I was watching like behind the scenes thing on it, and he was actually throwing the bouncy ball hard at the kids. Did you hear about that? Yeah, so that wasn't faking it. He was launching it really hard at them and stuff. And I guess a few of them, they were crying. So like, dang.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a great movie, and Happy Gilmore is another classic.
Oh yeah, we watched.
That
was his first one we watched was Happy Gilmore, and then Billy Madison. But I think what was the top funniest part in that film was the last part. Remember when Billy's giving that really long answer that doesn't make sense, and the guy said, he's like, that didn't make any sense, or something about like everybody in this room is now dumber because
Having listened to this. Yeah.
What's one of the categories? Something like My Wife the Whore or something like that.
My wife, no, it was My Wife the Tramp.
Nice. Yeah, and Mike's Gaming Gala, you're right. Norm McDonald, he was a legend.
Oh, it's hilarious. His delivery is just perfect on and everything.
Yeah. What was that? was that thing he did? It was an award show or something like that. He did and he bombed on purpose. He was just telling the corniest jokes, and he just kept going with it. And everyone is just rolling, laughing because how bad the jokes were. Just a really guy. And Happy Gilmore, Poe, you mentioned the Happy Gilmore. You know, every Wednesday night I golf in VR with the guys, with my boys and my buddy Rob, and never a round goes by at golf that we don't make some reference to, you know, whether we're all on the green, somebody's closer.
Right.
Jason got me this week. I'm notorious. I'm a Sissy Mary putter. I don't want to putt too hard, so I'm always short putt. It's like, God dang, I'm 6 feet away. It's like I'm going to 3-putt from here because I sneak up on it, and I just launched one. He's like, "What are you using, a hockey stick? What are you putting with here?" Yeah,
My buddy in tech school, my roommate, he came from a family that had some money. Now you got to remember this was '96, so he had a TV in our room, and he had the Bose speakers and everything, and he had the Hi-Fi VCR, and he bought Happy Gilmore, and he put that in one night, and we're sitting there watching it, and that VCR of his would just rewind and replay over and over again. And I remember it's like we were both so tired, neither of us got up, but all night long when you'd wake up, there'd be different parts of it playing. It would rewind and start over again. So that's always etched in my mind, our all-night marathon while we slept. Of that
nice.
movie.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mike. Was that the roast of Bob Saget when he did that complete bombing? Just hilarious Bob Saget roast. That was hilarious. Anyway,
I just watched a clip today, a Saturday Night Live clip of him, and a lot of times they didn't have him in the different sketches. You know, he would just do the weekend update. But they had one where Matthew Perry was the host, and he was a teacher of the school that was a sarcasm school. So everybody in there doing sarcasm, and Norm Macdonald's character just couldn't get it. He was just saying stupid stuff the whole time, and they're like, "No, that's not sarcasm. You're stupid." You know, it's hilarious. And he never did a character. It was just Norm Macdonald. You know, it's just
right. Yeah, I like when they had Norm Macdonald back on to host after they fired him, and he's blasting Saturday Night Live right on Saturday Night Live. It's like, so I was fired because they said I wasn't funny, and now I'm the host.
right. And they did the same thing that one summer. They got rid of Farley and Adam Sandler at the same time. It was kind of like, you guys are done. You know.
Yeah, Farley, he was in.
Oh yeah, remember Chris Farley was in Billy Madison too. He was the bus driver.
Right.
And remember the test questions when he kind of bombed it, and he had Chris Farley asking him questions.
Yeah. That is correct. He's taking his shirt off.
Yeah, Farley was.
And he was in the Norm Macdonald movie, that Dirty Work movie. Farley was in there. He had his nose bitten off by a whore.
Yeah.
And he goes to play a fight music for the bar fight, and it ends up he hits the button and it's Pina Colada. They changed the record or whatever in the jukebox, so they're all fighting to that song.
Nice. I've never seen that movie. I've still never seen. I gotta see it. And
yeah, that was Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang were in that movie. Dirty.
Yeah, and my gosh, it has got windy out here all of a sudden. At first I thought a dust devil might have went over, and but it's still getting me. But
we're finally down to 90 in my garage right now, and I've had this fan running since like noon to try to cool off this place. It just didn't happen. So.
Wow. Yeah, I'm at 86 in here. So it's. I might have to go get a jacket soon. Yeah, man. Someone at the hotel last week, it got bad enough that the manager actually put a thing to everyone's text. They'd set instead of the air conditioner, they had the heat set at 78 degrees and turned the heater in the hotel. It's like, it's summertime in Texas. Why are you even touching the heat button? every Saturday when we get there, Saturday morning, we go in and they had it set at 77. It was on air conditioning still, but it was set at 77. And it's like that end of the hallway, that's where the kitchen is and the laundry. The two places in the hotel that put out the most heat, and people are cranking it up to 77. The air conditioner, it's just sweltering. So we always crank that thing down. But anyway, sidetrack. That was my, hey, a squirrel. Yeah, Norm was the smartest guy in the room, acting as the dumbest.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I like watching that thing when he was on Conan O'Brien with that chick that was in the movie with Carrot Top, and they're like, Conan's like, "What's the name of the movie?" She says, "It's Chairman of the Board." And he looks at Norm and he says, "Do something with that, you freak." He goes, he stopped for like a second. He goes, I'll bet you board is spelled Bored. It just slammed it. Even the chick, like, that's too funny. He was
on one of those talk shows about being in the movie The People versus Larry Flint. And I don't remember what all the story was, but he's like, and I'm one of the people that's versing Larry Flint. And I just thought the way he said it was so freaking hilarious, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm versing Larry Flint.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to look up, especially right after he died. A lot of those old interviews of his were going up on YouTube, you know.
Yeah. Well, did you see when he went on The View? And then they were going to ban him for life because he just started throwing out, "Oh, Bill Clinton, he killed a guy." And they're like, "You can't just say that." And then they try to steer the conversation. But wasn't that true? He killed a guy, right? He killed a guy. No, you got to stop.
So I remember him on Weekend Update doing like a top 10 of the greatest bands, and he's like, number 2, or what was it? Yeah, well, number 1, Better Than Ezra. Number 2, Ezra.
Yeah. And you can go back and watch on YouTube those all of his O.J. Simpson jokes when the whole it just oh yeah. See, Mike's Gaming Galley, he knows what I was talking about with that. Barbara Walters was not. She was pissed. She was pissed on The View. Yeah. The View, that's always comedy gold. Just let the girls talk, and it's the bad part is they're not trying to be stupid funny. They just are stupid, and it makes it funny.
Yeah, you just wonder what kind of things are going to come out of mouths tomorrow morning on a show like that after what happened yesterday, right? Like I said, we don't get political, but everybody knows what happened yesterday. So, and I've already heard a lot of dumb things being said. So,
yeah. And the only thing I got to say about what happened yesterday is, your political views aside, love Trump, hate Trump, whatever you got, you don't be shooting people, you know, and innocent people got killed.
Right. That was my daughter. I told you guys, my daughter's boyfriend's neighbor was the one that passed away in that. And I did hear that, I don't know if it was the Trump campaign or the Republican, they set up a GoFundMe for him and the 2 people that were injured for that. So.
It's just amazing. There's other ways of handling stuff. But, yeah, you don't have to be... even people that don't like Trump as a politician or as a person or as a TV personality should be against what happened yesterday. That's pretty messed up.
From either side, it's just ridiculous.
Right. But anyway, yeah, Norm Macdonald. The world is not the same without that man.
Right.
Just amazing talent. But there's a lot of those, really good comics that I don't think will ever be replaced. You see up and coming people. You got your Bill Burrs out there and some of these other guys that are really funny. But when you talk about guys like Norm Macdonald, George Carlin, some of these just legends, and you're like, I don't know if there'll ever be replacements for these guys, but funny stuff. Anyway,
Oh, did you guys know? Can I share something else with you guys?
Yes.
All right.
No.
Let me see this.
What do you got? Wait, I'm waiting. I'm on. The mouse is on it. I'm waiting. I'm clicking
All right.
already. As soon as it hits. Oh, I took.
I found it. Yeah.
I was clicking the blank spot to the right of the thing, and instead of your window popping up, it moved Poe's over. And
Oh,
and our ratings went up instantly.
Nice.
oh, let me know when you got it. I'm only
I
using
got it.
one monitor today. Okay. So,
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
You can
this
see
comes
it.
out next week. So, I already had I paid off my pre-order. Yeah, the World Championship NES edition's coming out.
Yes.
And what's kind of neat, I was kind of watching the videos. They actually have quite a few games. Like you see Mario Brothers, Zelda, Metroid, and I didn't realize you can do, what was it, like online challenges on this as well?
Yeah.
So, I was thinking like, there would be some of us, if we owned this game, we could probably do some challenges on this as well. Because this would be fun
Yeah.
to see how far we could get on these games, if you own a Switch.
Nice.
Looks really cool.
I'm
And
gonna
you
tell you,
get
I have that pre-ordered as well, but
Yeah.
I just got a message from GameStop last night. Our card was compromised that I used for online things, so I had to get a new card, and I never put that in for my GameStop account. So they did tell me that method didn't work. You have 24 hours to put a new method in.
Yeah.
And I just got my new card a week and a half ago. I thought about it, and I'm not sure. Do I really need the physical? Because what am I going to do with the physical? I know it's cool and all, but I'm like, well, it's cheaper for the digital, right? Like $20
I'm not
cheaper,
sure.
maybe.
I'm not sure. I saw the gold cartridge that you get with
Right.
it too. So I'm like,
And the
I gotta have
Japanese
that.
version, they give them a Famicom Switch controller, I think, for the Japanese version.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I really like this. Me and my son are looking forward to playing this and stuff, seeing how far we can go. But yeah,
I have a few hours left to determine whether I want to change my card information or not for that. So, me, probably at the last second, I'll be like, hell yes, let's do this. Because I've had it pre-ordered for a while. So,
yeah.
It's crazy because you said your card got compromised, and I've been telling Mike for weeks, you got to slow down on buying stuff with Poe's card. It's going to figure it out.
yeah, this time, my bank, they've been pretty good about catching stuff lately. We were, a few years back, somebody in Philadelphia somehow used my wife's information to have Dish Network for like a long time and rack up a huge bill. And so I get this bill from Dish Network to our house, and I'm like, we have never had Dish. We had DirecTV, never ever had Dish. I call about it, and they're like, it's for this address in Philadelphia. I'm like, I'm on the other side of the state. I'm not in Philadelphia. I said, can't you figure out where the person lived that had the service? And they're like, you're going to have to go to your local police. So that's what we did. We went to the local police. They took care of the fraud, and we didn't have to pay for this person's Dish Network that they had for how long.
Nice.
But they had enough of my wife's information that they were able to have that all charged to her, at the time.
Wow. Yeah, we had my ex-wife's, I think it was, man, now I'm going to get myself in trouble because I don't remember if it was my ex's or if it was Kelly's card at this point. I think it was my ex, so it got compromised, and we got a bill for a bunch of stuff that it was in a freaking weed store in Amsterdam. And like over $1,000 worth of stuff, and we got the money back. The bank reimbursed us right away, but I called the head shop place. I'm like, what's up with this? You guys charge? And the lady's like, yeah, we thought it was weird that it was an American card and they had to ship all the product down to South Africa. And we're like, then why did you run it? She's like, because it was like $1,000. And it's like, but that was Kelly's. before the wedding. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because my exes, when they bought when hers got compromised, they bought a bunch of stuff in France, like expensive bags and stuff, shoes. I don't know. It was a bunch of stuff. But yeah, that was Kelly's card. That was the headshot. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But there goes 5,001 emulation cartridge. Yeah. T-Dog, yeah. Norm Macdonald's longest joke ever. I haven't actually heard the whole joke, but I know you can find it on YouTube. But
What was that movie he worked in trying to do dirty called Dirty Deeds, right? The title?
is that
You
the one
remember
that
that?
Poe was talking? Is that the one Poe was talking about earlier?
Oh, was that the one?
I
Yeah,
think
because
so.
I remember, like he's hired to do like these things to people and stuff. So yeah, I remember watching that before.
Yeah, I've never seen that one, and I saw someone talking about it on the show, and I was like, man, I got to see if I can find that movie, because I'm a pretty good fan of Old Norm.
Yeah,
Is that the one with the
Russian Moth. I'm not sure. Yeah, I got to rewatch it. It's been a while since I seen that movie.
Yeah. See, Poe left because his wife heard him talking about ordering that. She came down and said,
Yeah, she's not home right now. She walked out when I started the show. I don't know. This might be for good this time, maybe. I don't know.
did she leave her wedding ring on the counter on the door on her way out?
Did you smell gasoline being poured around your house?
Oh, like I say, not the movie, The Longest Joke. Yeah. I don't know. I never heard the joke. So T-Dog, is that the longest joke? Is that the one about the Russian moth? Or Poe, do you know that Norm Macdonald's longest joke ever?
Oh, I remember hearing something about that. I don't remember exactly, because there's also the world's dirtiest joke, where all the different comedians take turns telling the same joke, but they all have their different twist on it.
Oh, yeah, that you're talking about the aristocrats?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, that aristocrats thing is hilarious. Listening to people say the basically the same joke, but then they all just the final act that the people do.
I'm positive there was a Bob Saget version of that. That guy was dirty, right? Aside from Full House.
If you never saw him other than on Full House, and then you popped in his comedy tape thinking, oh, this is something that I can watch with mom and dad. And then you play that and you're like, oh my God, Bob Saget is just...
You're always used to him on Full House and America's Funniest People. Then I remember seeing him on Quantum Leap back in the day, where he was a bit different than that character. It's like, oh, he's not quite as nice as he was. And then you find out about his stand-up after. I'm like, holy crap. This guy was nothing like he was on ABC, you know?
Right. Yeah. Just... Let's see, Canada's last time his card got compromised was actually when he got his Xbox account compromised. They were trying to buy DLCs for Dungeons & Dragons and a game for the Xbox One. Yeah, that sucks, man. When you get your card compromised, what a pain in the ass that is.
Yeah, it definitely was, because they said, well, we'll have it to you in 7 to 10 business days, you know, and that sucks enough as it is. So I got to use the wife's card if I want to use the card for anything, and then it took them longer than the 7. I was getting ready to call them, and then finally the card showed up. You know, it's like, wow, that sucks.
Yeah, see, that's why it was a double whammy when my car got stolen. Our car, Kelly's car, when it got stolen last year, because my wallet was in the car. So I actually, before I even called the sheriff's department to report that the car was stolen, I was online deactivating my cards, and which is so handy nowadays. If your wallet gets stolen or lost or something, just to be able to go on and and lock your cards instantly. And then I called the sheriff. And then the dumb bastards that stole my car, they stole my ratty old wallet, but left all the stuff that was in it. They didn't take any of my credit cards or any of that stuff. I got my Blue Nose card back, so that was cool. But they stole my ratty old 10-year-old freaking just cheapo $8 Walmart wallet. They stole that. It's like, what is wrong with heads?
And I had my card set up for almost everything that we do online. You know, any kind of payments we make and this and that. So I had to change everything to the wife's card. And some things I forgot, and then you got to think, hey, we tried this card and it didn't work. One of them was my membership for Mike's Gaming Gala. I'm like, I better hurry up and give him his $1 a month, or he'll be yelling around. And
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike. I know there was a little stutter there why I didn't pay for my membership, but I'm back.
T-Dog said that he heard the longest joke ever when he was a guest on the Howard Stern show. You were a guest on the Howard Stern show?
T-Dog? I used to listen to that show all the time. Never heard T-Dog on.
T-Dog was on there, and Howard Stern was listening to the joke, or he was listening to it instead of listening to Stern. You know, I was watching it, when we were in Phoenix last time, I was listening to one of the local radio stations, and the morning guys were talking about Howard Stern, kind of making fun of him. I haven't listened to him in years.
No.
And they were saying, I guess he's kind of come around to now he's big time, you know, advocating for against like OnlyFans and stuff, and stop sexualizing these young girls, and we should take care. And it's like, aren't you the dude that used to stick a stick in a girl's butt and play ring toss?
Right. I listened to him a lot when I got out of the service and they played him here in the Pittsburgh area. Then I got Sirius satellite radio just because he was going there, you know?
Yeah.
And I had a lot of time driving on the road, so I would listen to Stern all the time. But once the pandemic came up, he actually started changing a little bit before that, and the pandemic came around. I was like, canceled subscription. You know, I was listening to pretty much only him on satellite radio. The wife really wasn't listening to much on there, so I'm just like, yeah, just cancel the whole thing.
Yeah,
but I remember back in the 90s, he had that serial killer call in, and that's on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever watched that, but it was an actual serial killer that called in and talked about killing people, you know.
Really? Wow. Yeah.
Yes.
I only caught bits and pieces. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I said same thing. I used to listen to him like in 2003 when I was still in the Navy. Bought XM radio, and and that's the only time I, you know, like, oh, satellite radio. He's moving on to there. Put it in my Mustang, and yeah, I had a long ways. If I had to go drive to my parents' place, since I was stationed over at the sub base over in Bangor in Washington State, and I have to drive all the way down, you know, south of Washington, and I need something to listen to, and that's my go-to show to listen to when I'm driving on the road and stuff. But I think I only had it for, what was it, for the 2 years, 2003, 2004, then I stopped subscribing to XM.
Back then, you could only listen to them on that. They didn't have it like broadcast.
Yeah.
That you could listen to it anywhere, you know. So I bought the boombox for my
I got that too. Yeah, I got that one too. Yep.
So that when we went camping, we could listen to Sirius satellite radio by putting it in the boombox. And then eventually, it's like, well, if you have a subscription, you can listen to them from any computer or whatever. Then things like Alexa came out, so you can listen to it anywhere after that. They made it a lot more convenient.
Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. I bought a boombox just so I can bring it camping.
Right.
But, you know, I can only listen to them if... so I had my godparents as well as my mom go camping with us, and it's like, I don't want to listen to Howard Stern with my parent around.
Right.
It's just like, and also my godfather, my godmother, because they're like really, you know, heavy Christians. Is like, oh, that's not appropriate. So the only thing I brought it in for, you know, just so we have like music, and they tended to like 60s music. I'm like, oh, there's a 60s channel here, and we'll just play that while we're out in the middle of nowhere in the woods. So that was awesome picking up, because we couldn't get any radio stations where we were at. I think we were in the National Forest, but XM picked up right there. I'm like, wow, I got like radio, you know, I could listen to music out here.
Yeah, my wife would listen to the Yacht Rock station when we had our big pool here in the backyard. she would bring the boom box out. We'd listen to Yacht Rock on Sirius.
Yacht Rock,
XM.
yes. Yeah. I know Yacht Rock when I switched over to Sirius. Yep.
Yeah, we still have Sirius. They keep getting me because we did the thing when we were in Colorado. You'd get in the mountains and you couldn't get radio stations or anything, so we got the satellite radio. I think that's where we first. And then I canceled it, and
Right.
now if you stay canceled for like 3 months, they'll call me up. And
Yes.
3 years ago, they were like $60 for the whole year. I was like, okay, so I did that. And then it expired, and of course they're calling and they're like, "Well, what can we do? What can we do?" I'm like, $60 for another year. I'll keep it. And they're like, "Oh, we can't do that," because it was going to jump up to like $30 a month. And
Yeah.
I'm like, no. And then I waited, and like 3 months later, they called, and I answered the phone. I'm like, "What do you got for me?" And they're like, $5 a month. Okay. So because here in Van Horn, we have 3 channels that you can pick up on the radio, and they are all religious talk channels. So you're like listening to church service 24/7 on all 3 of the channels. And yeah, so we don't get any radio, but most of the time I just Bluetooth my playlist off of YouTube Music.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, that's what I do now. Is like everything I listen to is through I have the Alexa in my car, so I'll just play my playlist, or hey, play this song, play that song, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sirius was always doing it. You got to cancel. Well, how about we give you 6 months for free? Well, okay, I'll take it. And finally, when I did cancel, I'm like, no, I want it gone. Well, how about that? Better and better deals, you know, every minute. No, I'm done with it, you know.
right,
But we didn't. We enjoyed it when we had it. And actually, when I first got it, that thing that I could take out of my truck used an FM transmitter. I didn't have an actual physical connection to my radio in my truck. So it transmitted it. My buddy at work hadn't listened to Stern since he went to Sirius. So we're driving home from work. He's like, "What station do you turn it to listen to that?" And I told him, and we're on the highway, and he's right next to me so that he can hear it going down on the other lane. And it was when one of the girls was riding the big Sibian saddle.
right.
I just knocked the thing over again. It's the big saddle vibrator thing. And I look over at my buddy as he's like neck and neck with me going down the highway. He's like, yeah. Listen.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. My thing with that cancellation was it was either Dish Network or DirecTV. I don't remember which one. But when my dad passed away, I had Dish Network, or whichever one it was. I had it at the house for my dad. And when he passed away, I had just renewed it, but it was in my name. So I called, and they're like, "Well, is it in your dad's name? We'll cancel it right now." I said, "No, it's in my name." And they said, "Well, the cancellation fee was going to be like $600 or something like that." And I was paying $40 a month for the thing or something like that. And then when you do the 2-year thing, and after the first year, it rolled up to full price. So now it was like $100 a month. And so I called them up. I'm like, "What would it cost me to cancel now?" And they said $200 cancellation fee, and you're out. I said, "Do it." And they're like, "We're going to charge you $200." I said, "Yeah, but I'm going to pay you $100 a month for the next 2 months anyway. Just cancel it now, and I'll be done with it." And then he starts, "Well, what can I offer you? What can I offer you?" And I'm like, "Dude, you don't understand. I haven't turned on our television set," because all we would watch is like YouTube and stuff on the computer, which technically it was a TV, but it was my computer monitor. I said, "I have not turned on my TV in a year and a half." And he's like, "What if I give you this deal?" Dude, I have not turned on. When I watched the Super Bowl last year, I had to call you guys to reactivate it because it was, he goes, "You just don't watch TV, do you?" I'm like, "You think?" And then he finally did. He finally canceled, because it doesn't matter what you tell them. If you just blunt from the get-go, there's nothing you could possibly offer me I'm going to say yes. So just cancel. And they still, and the last time I got off of Sirius XM, he started doing a spiel, and I hit him right away. I said, I'm canceling. I'm done. you're probably going to have to do a spiel, though, right? You're going to have to offer me X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to turn them all down. I'm telling you right now. And he goes, well, and I'm like, no. And he goes, thank you. Let me go. I'm canceling it right now. I appreciate you hearing me out because, yeah, I would get in trouble if I didn't say it all. I'm like, all right. But, I just put the phone down. I should have been like, just scream when you're done so I can hear it. But, yeah, just a mess. Let's see. T-Dog said, true story, my dad's an electrician, would listen to Howard on the way to work on the weekends when I was on the job. Nice. Oh my gosh. It's 10 by the way. Oh, hold on now.
Naughty T-Dog.
Yeah, I should have read this one before I started scrolling up and putting stuff on the screen.
We don't need the details, T-Dog.
I remember, I thought it was the funniest thing because that same show where they had the girl riding that thing, some guy called in and said, Howard, I just shot a huge jellyfish on my windshield.
Yeah, it's just what impressed me the most. For one, I haven't listened to Howard Stern for a long time, so I was kind of surprised to hear that he's kind of gone that direction.
Yeah,
with his
however you want to describe it, he started doing these interviews with bigger Hollywood types once he started kind of giving into them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And all those years he had the big fights with Rosie O'Donnell, and suddenly they were like best friends, and things like that happened. And then he started leaning totally away from the stuff he used to do. And when people would try to call him out, he would just hang up on them or yell at them and stuff,
Yeah. Well, I was impressed because anyone that's in the Phoenix area, if you listen to the morning show on KUPD, 97.9, 98, whatever they call it, that's a station I used to listen to when I lived in Arizona. But New Morning Guys, the one dude, phenomenal Howard Stern impression. Because they were making fun of his stuff and saying some, and it's like a couple times like, is that Howard? Holy crap! That dude's just like him. Yeah, it was pretty funny, and it's all good, T-Dog. It's all good.
Yeah, it's good.
You're okay, right? We tell you right away, it's not a PG show here. So.
Right. Yeah. You never know what any of us are going to say at any given moment, But no. Oh, anyway. So where are we at? Almost 2 hours. We're almost at 2 hours.
Big news today. My nephew, my brother's oldest boy, the Eisenhower. He's on the aircraft carrier Eisenhower. They were off to war. They were actually getting attacked and whatnot over there near Israel and everything. After 9 months, they just came in to Norfolk, Virginia today, and his little brother is on another aircraft carrier. They actually went all the way down south and from Virginia all the way to California. He flew back in yesterday, so they're both back in Virginia. So my brother and my sister-in-law drove down there yesterday to see all of them. So the Navy boys are back. Yeah, they're both on aircraft carriers, which is pretty wild.
Awesome. Yeah. That is crazy. I never got on an aircraft carrier. I've seen them up close, but I've never been on board one. Mike, did you ever get on board one?
Yeah, I've been on the Enterprise before.
Yeah.
So was it stationed there? Well, this was before I joined the Navy. So my sister, when she had her first husband, he was stationed on the Enterprise. So I got to go on board that thing. Ship is huge. I mean, I could have never imagined. I remember going up the walkway and just like, dang. So they weren't kidding. I know, like, when I went in the Navy, when people were telling me stories about it, and I said, I know, I was on it when I was little. And they said it's basically it's like basically a floating city out in the ocean. And a lot of the guys that had been stationed on it, they said, you don't get to know everybody there.
Right.
So, yeah. Probably your own group who you work with. That's it.
Jason said when Jason went in as a nuke, he could go on aircraft carriers or submarines, and he ended up there by you, Mike, and he was
Yeah.
on submarines
Oh,
in
nice.
Washington State. But I said, why did you choose the submarines rather than the aircraft carrier? It didn't really surprise me because he's kind of an adventurous type of guy. So I thought, he likes going spelunking, climbing through caves and all that stuff. So the tight quarters of the submarine wouldn't bother. But he said one of the biggest factors is when you're on an aircraft carrier, just the nuke crew that works on the reactors, they have guys that they don't meet because the nuclear guys, it's such a big crew that works on multiple reactors. He said, you got guys working on the same reactor as you, and you don't even know the guy. And you're having to work on that same reactor. He said, on a submarine, there's 8 to 10 guys that work on it, and you know everybody. So you know people's strengths and weaknesses, and you know how to complement each other. But he said, so even just a small community like the nukes was a large community on an aircraft carrier.
So he didn't pick because they get the best chefs, right? They have the best MSS. I mean, submarine, even the bases. That's why when we got stationed here, I'm like, what in the world? Because they had like lobster and all these steaks, and I feel like I was on an Air Force base. I'm like, what's going on here? This is not typical Navy food for sure.
Right. Well, and it's funny because I talk about, the cramped quarters of being on a submarine, and I've only ever been on a World War II diesel submarine. Took a tour of it, and that's small, cramped quarters. He was on the Ohio class boomer, ballistic missile submarine. The gym, he's a gym rat kind of guy. Played sports all his life and stuff. The gym on that is separated on 3 different decks, so it's a big boat. And if you watch The Hunt for Red October, they talk about the Typhoon class Soviet submarine. It's like the size of a World War II aircraft carrier. I mean, they're big boats, but and he said now he works at SpaceX. He said, I thought it was tight getting around that reactor in the submarine, but now climbing in those Falcon 9 rockets to refurbish them, that's tight quarters. So, hey, another hour went by. But, yeah, so interesting stuff. But aircraft carriers, I flew in the P3s, no tail hook. So
Oh, nice.
I never was on a ship.
Couldn't that metal detector catch on?
Maybe we got a problem if we're doing that. Oh, there was no hook, but yeah.
Oh, the younger one, actually, Tom Cruise was on their ship. I don't remember when, last year. It wasn't for Maverick. It's for another movie he was doing. But all this talk you hear about how he was kind of shitty with enlisted when he did Top Gun, I guess he was really nice and open with these guys, really friendly with them and everything this time around. So maybe he learned his lesson,
He's grown up a bit since then.
Right.
Yeah. And I think I've told you guys. I know I've told you guys the story of the only time I ever stepped foot on ship while I was in the Navy. And that was that Dutch frigate that was ported and docked in Puerto Rico, and got on board the boat, went down to the E7, the Chiefs lounge where they had Heineken on tap, and they said free beer for the Americans. And that's where our tour ended. We drank beer with those guys for a couple hours and went back to the barracks. That's the only time I ever stepped foot on ship while
I was on one once, and that's the Wisconsin. It's down there in Norfolk, the battleship Wisconsin, which is nice. They made it into like a museum, but that's the one that my brother helped recommission back in the late 80s, and the one he served on. And so it was really cool to be able to go on, even though he wasn't with us when we went down there. It was really cool to be able to go on the ship where he was a gunner's mate for all those years when he was there.
Yeah. I plan on going on one of those carriers, and like, what's the one that's over by? When we took the 10 across from Florida back here, is it in Mississippi? There's one of those warships. It's a museum now. You can go on, or I don't remember where it was.
I think
you
so.
Can see it
Yeah.
on the highway. Yeah. I want to go on those because I love that stuff. Going on those ships. I did when I was in delayed entry program because I joined the Navy after Top Gun. I was one of those Navy Top Gun joined in the Navy people. I joined while I was in high school. We went over to San Diego, and we got to do some of the training for submarines, where you go in and they start flooding the compartment. You got to try to stop the leaks and all that stuff. We got to do some of that stuff, so that was pretty neat. But and I got to go on old diesel submarine there too. So I've been on 2 of those diesel submarines, but I would have loved to go on one of those big boomers like Jason's on, and, see what they're like inside.
Yeah.
But they're pretty secretive about those things. I don't know what the is.
Yeah, it's funny you said Top Gun was your inspiration, right? To join.
Yeah.
When I was going through, the recruiter and the delayed entry program, and I wanted to go see with the rest of the guys. What was it? That movie called the one with Kelsey Grammer with the submarine?
Oh yeah. Down Periscope, yeah.
Down Periscope, yeah. And he said no, and I'm like, how about under? Yeah, he's like, how about? I said, how about Under Siege? Then he's like, those 2 movies inspired me to want to go in the Navy. He's like, no, yeah. He's like, no, we can't go see that. And I'm like, let me guess, Top Gun, right? And he's like, yeah, Top Gun.
Yeah.
So he's like, remember, if you get asked that question, when I go to boot camp, what inspired you? So it's like, really, I can't say Down Periscope because I said I love that movie and then Under Siege.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I said
Navy.
because I watched that later. Yeah.
Oh, show, we watched it. They used to show it in the mornings in the summertime when I was a kid. We watched McHale's Navy like every morning on summer break.
Did you watch the movie? Remember that movie that was...
I know they did it. I don't think I ever watched the newer...
Yeah, I never saw the movie.
Yeah, I saw the movie.
See, mine was actually a combination of 2 things. I saw Top Gun, loved Top Gun, and then they started doing all those shows at 60 Minutes and stuff. They're talking about being fighter pilot in the Navy and all that. And it's like, man, that would be cool to go fly in the Navy. And what the other half of that was, we were in high school still, so obviously I wasn't married yet, but I was riding with my buddy and my now ex-wife. We were dating in high school, and we drove past where the Navy recruiter was. And I looked at my buddy Neil and I said, dude, man, we should do it. Let's just turn around. Let's go in and join the Navy. And she called me out. She's like, you won't join the Navy. There's no way. I turned the car around and drove to the recruiters and went in and talked to him, and then, I had several meetings with the guy. I didn't sign papers that day, but I did turn around and went to the recruiters because she called me out. Like, you ain't going to join the Navy. And I was like, watch me. And I did. Because, I said, I don't care what I do in the Navy. I just want to do it in the air. And I knew I couldn't be a pilot because I'm coming out of high school. I wasn't an officer. And he says, oh, you can ride around in airplanes and track submarines. And I'm like, you can? He's like, yeah. Matter of fact, if you're going to be the operator, you have to do it from the air for this particular job. And I'm like, all right, what do I got to do? He says, well, you got to take your ASVAB. And I'm like, okay, well, everyone has to take that. He said, yeah, but for the job you're wanting to do, the only people that have to score higher are the nukes. I'm like, so? And he's like, well, go take the test. So I qualified, and the rest was history. I signed up because they guaranteed me a job flying to do it. So I'm like, I'm in. So I joined the Navy so I could fly.
Nice.
Not to be on the ocean.
Be on the ocean. I was over the ocean a lot. Which
That's what
the craziest thing she ever heard of is flying out there over the ocean where you can look in all directions and not see land. And she's like, are you insane? I'm like crafts. If bad things happen, it's okay. But yeah, and I enjoyed the hell out of the job, and it was very interesting. Before the Soviet Union collapsed, we were busy as all get out, tracking Russian submarines all over the place. And then, but I couldn't handle the separation from my kids. So it was tough. I tell people all the time, and I don't know if you've had the same conversation, Mike, where people ask, "Well, what was it like? Did you like being in the Navy?" I've told people before, it could be a real if you want to, it can be fun, interesting. If you're single, if you're a married guy and have a family, the Navy life is tough. If you want to be involved in your children's life,
Yes.
if you don't care about being around your kids, then whatever. But yeah, if you're a family man, the Navy life is tough because you're going to do sea duty. And it's not like the other branches where my brother spent 6 years in Germany when he was in the Army, and his wife and kids were with him. And they got to go as a family and see all of Europe and do all that. That's great. When I went over to Spain, my wife and kid didn't come with me. I don't know, Mike, did you have any family come with you when you were over in Rota?
No, I was a single guy during that time. I didn't. I got married when I got out of the Navy. So after.
Yeah. Were you when you were in Rota though? Were you there as shore duty or were you there as?
That's part of my deployment. Yeah.
Yeah. So you would, even if you were married, she wasn't going with you.
Nope. She would have had to stay. She would have had to stay in Mississippi. Yeah. So that's my home port.
When I was in Spain for those 7 months at Rota, we would do wife week, they called it. Now I guess it's probably spouse week because they got to be all included. I don't know, but it was called wife week. And then the Desert Shield and Desert Storm started, so they canceled all that. So I tell people that the youngins today just can't fathom the idea. I was gone for 7 months and I talked to my wife twice for 5 minutes at a pop. No email, no FaceTime, no texting, no nothing. And the one time I called using those military lines that cross the ocean.
Yeah.
And we were about 2 minutes in and she's like, "So how's it? Oh yeah, we got to go see this." And I was seeing that. And the operator picked up and said, "You have 30 seconds. And I'm like, "How's the kid? Is Travis okay? How's everything going with it?" And then they hung up on me. Yeah. It's over. It's like, and that was the only time I got to talk to my ex the whole time I was on the 7-month deployment.
During Operation Iraqi Freedom, when I was stationed with the Fleet Hospital, for us to be able to call out, we were issued, I think, from the USO cell phones, so we could check out a cell phone for like about it's only 15 minutes.
My mom's calling.
Oh.
Wait, I'm going to take this live.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. She hung up. She heard Mike's voice talking and she hung up instantly.
It's like, that's not my son.
Oh, but sorry, go ahead, Mike.
Well, we were only allowed like 15 minutes to talk on the cell phone, but luckily, you could squeeze out, but no, after, you had to kind of time yourself and then, say your goodbyes. And then, during that time though, I was engaged to my fiance, my wife. So I would call her during that time period and stuff. It's like, I got to go because my time's almost up. Because there would be a line of other people, wanting to use the phone.
Yeah.
Too. So after I got done, I had to go turn it in to the rep over there, and she would hand out that cell phone to another person, and and we only got a call once a week. So yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, we were at a secured location, so we couldn't talk too much. So only once a week we were allowed to.
Yeah, that's actually the reason I picked North Dakota as my base, is because they had on-base housing. So I knew I could get my wife up there as soon as I was done with tech school. I came home and got her. We had a house waiting for us on base, so she was with me pretty much the whole time except for basic training and tech school.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't have any luxuries. Calling. Yeah. But I tell people all the time, when you're on deployment like that, you're working so much. And the first month was tough, and the last month was tough. Because the first month you miss it, oh my God. And then you just get in a roll, in a rhythm, and you're just working, 12 on, 12 off. all this stuff, and you're just busy. And then the last month, you're antsy. You're like, okay, I'm ready to be home now. And then I got back after that deployment, and we had to leave one of our aircraft for the squadron that relieved us. And I got selected to be the radar operator to fly. So I went back to Spain a week after being gone for 7 months. They sent me back over there. I'm like, really? You couldn't send one of the single guys that doesn't have a wife and kid that they've been away for? And then that's when at the end of Desert Storm, and then they said, yeah, we're not flying back to the west when we leave here. I'm like, we're in Spain. Florida is clearly west of here. No, we're going east. What are you talking about? We had to fly over to the war zone and be a taxi service for a bunch of guys. But I'm like, and so my wife, my ex, she gets, not only did we get back and a week later I'm sent back over, all she got was a phone call saying, your husband's not coming home tomorrow. We'll let you know when they're on their way back. Because we were going into the war zone. It was all classified where we were flying and when. We didn't even get briefed until we were on the plane and the ladder was up and the door was locked. Then they told us where we were going. It's like, I'm ready to be home. I don't know if you're aware of this, but yeah.
You know, what I missed the most, I remember being on deployment, is driving. And then I really missed, well, back then I bought a Ford Mustang 98 GT during Operation Iraqi Freedom. I'd be thinking about it. Like, man, I miss driving my car. Because I haven't drove anything. I've been just walking everywhere, right? And I would have dreams about driving my car, you know, racing other people in Mississippi. Yeah. And that was one of the things I kind of missed the most. Is like when you're on deployment, I really miss driving a car. And I would try to volunteer. They would ask, hey, anybody want to go to the PX or the Navy Exchange and get some sodas and candy bars for the COC? I'd like, I want to go because I really wanted to drive a vehicle, which they had the Navy Blazers and stuff, the Chevy Blazers that you could drive and go pick that stuff up. But yeah, that was the thing I missed the most when I was deployed.
The worst part for me at the end of the deployment, I did 7 months over there in Spain, and when I came back, I got back in January, and my ex-wife, she was 3 months older than me. So her birthday's in December. I got back in January. My birthday's not till March. I was 20 when I came back from Spain. So for 2 months, I couldn't buy beer all of a sudden. I've been buying my own beer. So now I had to ask my wife to go buy beer for me. And I'm like, this is right. Come on, go buy me some beer. What's wrong with you? But
did you go to that bar? There's a bar on the base, and one of the things I remembered, it had like a few arcade games there. And I know when I was going back and forth, so they had Area 51, which I have I don't have the official cabinets Maximum Force, but it's got Area 51 on it too. And that game was over there, that arcade game. And I remember going back to Mississippi, going to the CB bar. And I'm like, dude, they have a Area 51 game. So that would be like my game. Because, of course, you know, like having stuff sent back to your base. We had like the cruise boxes, we call them. So all our game systems, or game system with my VCR, it was packed up in there. There was nothing to do. It was like, no, I'll go head on to the bar over on, you know, the CB base, and they have like the arcade machine still there and stuff.
Oh,
and
nice.
I just remembered that, and then Sega Fishing. I'd play the hell out of it, but yeah, but it was kind of weird going back and forth through both bases. He actually had the same arcade machine, so
wow,
yeah. But I don't know if when you went in, they had arcade machines there.
Was that in Rhoda?
Rhoda, yeah.
Yeah. I want to say they had a pinball machine, I thought. They had a Black Knight, maybe?
Oh, nice.
But I used to go over to the little enlisted club or whatever there. They had one of those nickel slot machines where you could play the 5-way slot machine.
Yeah.
and I get a roll of nickels, and you could sit there for quite a while for $2 and just play. And then one day I won $50 worth of nickels, which is a shit ton of nickels to carry back to the barracks. But then every time I go to the club, I just grab a handful of nickels out of that, and until I ran out. But they lasted me most of the deployment. But
yeah, that's funny. I had a friend. He won a bunch of money from the slot machine, and so he's like, "Hey, let's go golfing." So I've never golfed before. I don't know how to golf. It would be on in Rhoda. So we went over to the golf course, and he's like, "Oh, it's easy. Just smack the ball. I'll tell you what direction you need to go." And he's like, "Trust me, it's going to be the most funnest golf game you've ever had." So we rented a cart. Like, why do we need a cart for? He's like, "You'll see." So we went there, and there was a store inside the golf, where you pay for the clubs and stuff. And he bought like a 2 6-pack of beer. So I think he bought Coors Light and Bud Light, and so we had it in there. And we went, and I like, "Is this even legal we're doing?" He's like, no. He's like, "Here, go look at those officers over there." We're kind of like looking over and far in the other distance, and we see them kind of stumbling around. And then there's like loads, cases of beer stacked on their cart, which they're dragging around. And it looks like they're just, they look like they're seriously drunk. And he's like, "Yeah, we're going to have a good golf game." We're drinking and putting around the course. And what was kind of funny, the more I drank, right, the better I got at golfing. Because he kind of showed me. He's like, "What the hell?" He's like, "I know, we get better so we drink." He's like, "But there's that certain time," he said, he's like, "when you get all sloshed up and you can't even hit the ball," he's like, that's when we need to quit, when we end up like those officers over there.
Yeah. A buddy of mine, we went golfing in, I think it was in Bermuda, and never golfed before either. I'd gone to the driving range every once in a while, and I'd smacked some golf balls, but I'd never played a round of golf. And we each got 2 of those 3-packs of golf balls. So we had 6 balls each, and we figured we'd play until we lost all of our balls, or we'll finish the course, whatever happens first. And like hole 3 or 4, I can't remember, early on in the round, you're teeing off, and then the green is like an island that's like way down here, and we lost every one of our golf balls trying to hit it down to that green, and then we just left. Yeah. And we found out I got one of those, like, I was looking in one of those golfer magazines now that we're pro golfers. I'm leafing through. I'm not going to buy the thing. I'm at the store, so I'm leafing through it. And they had rankings, and it was like ranked the 3rd hardest course in the world at the time.
Oh.
I'm like, that's the place to start golfing. But yeah. And I'm a hack golfer. I never did get good. I used to golf every week with my dad and a buddy of mine. Had a little bitty course in Arizona, didn't even have sand traps. And I'm like, yeah, this is my kind of golfing. Just go out there and just have a good time. And I can't hit good golf. Last time I got into sand trap in real life golfing, after my 8th swing in the sand trap, not counting the 2 to get to the sand trap, 8 swings trying to get out of it. I picked my ball up and just chucked it and counted that as, I'll just add that as 3 more strokes. I think I took like a 20 on that hole. But now I play this. I play on the Quest, and I don't know how it would translate if I would suddenly be a better golfer. But my best game ever, and that was on that small course with no sand. I got a 93. And I did that 2 weeks in a row. I got a 93 2 weeks in a row, but usually it was just try to break 100. That's my golf game. Try to break 100. But
we kind of need to finish up that game with Poe. He keeps disappearing on us.
Yeah, I haven't finished that one yet. And the Wallace and Gromit one's coming out at the end of this month. So
yeah, they are. They're releasing another new course here shortly. So yeah. Although every time I play that dang that walkabout mini golf, and then I play with the boys on Wednesday night, and I have to putt on a regular thing. My putting's all messed up. It's like, dang, it doesn't translate well. But yeah. What, are you leaving, Derek? Did you have enough of us? It's only been 2 hours and 16 minutes.
Yeah, what the heck, Derek?
Yeah. No, I'm going to have to get going here shortly myself. Like always, Sunday is a 4 a.m. wake-up call.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, tonight. Oh, go ahead, Bart.
It's pretty rare for my mom to call on the weekends because she knows we work. So I'm a little concerned that there's some reason that she was trying to call. So I should probably. Oh, I see what Derek's saying. Have fun, quest golfing with that. Well, it is.
Oh yeah, it is a lot more fun. I mean,
Yeah,
it's great when you're there, Derek.
Yeah, it does. There's something about it. Yeah. So, do you guys got anything? Any last? What Greg always says, the final thoughts. You got anything you wanted to say before we end the stream here on this fine Sunday evening? Poe, you got anything?
Play Moon Patrol. Do it. Get your scores in there. And, fun game. I'll probably put a video out about it. But tomorrow I got the big hospital appointment in Pittsburgh. Couldn't get an early appointment, so we're going right down there right before rush hour. So we probably won't be home 900 hours. So maybe I'll play it Tuesday.
Nice.
Sounds good. Mike, what you got?
I'm going to be working on my 500 video, so that's the one I'm kind of working on right now. And then I'll figure out what the game, because I do have a modern game. I want to kind of save that for later, but then I got to think about a retro game I'm going to be doing as well. And then lastly, I'm going, after we're done here on the stream, I got to make a homemade chili. I've never done it before, so I bought the kidney beans. I got the seasoning. I'm gonna put bacon in it because I heard bacon makes chili even better.
Bacon
So,
makes
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, and it's a Texas seasoning. So I bought like this Texas seasoning thing I saw in a recipe. I'm
That's
like,
just dirt from Bart's backyard. He puts it in a sprinkle and sells it as Texas seasoning.
Texas seasoning.
And my wife makes chili. She does the online. She found the Wendy's recipe for chili.
Oh.
And that's the way we've been eating it for the last couple of years. Love it though.
Yeah.
I love chili anyway, but that's my favorite.
Do you like onions in your chili?
Yeah, I do.
That's what I'm gonna.
But
I'm gonna put onions in it too.
But I do love onions. I know you don't like peppers. I love peppers too.
Oh no peppers.
She just made hot sausage the other day with the hot peppers on there.
Yeah.
The banana peppers. And wow, they were hot. Sweat coming out on my bald head, but I love hot sausage with hot peppers on it.
Nice.
Yeah, I also bought like sharp cheddar with Jack to put on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's gonna be good. I can't wait.
Yeah. See,
That's all I've got.
You talk about putting the bacon in, and I heard that bacon makes everything better. So I wrapped bacon around my wiener and offered some to Kelly, but she said she'd rather just have a plain hot dog.
That's like that little weenie wraps that have the bacon around with a toothpick.
I'm talking about when we were making hot dogs on the grill. Oh, what are you talking about? I'm not talking no Vienna sausages.
That's what I tried anyway. I was just watching The Unforgiven tonight, and when the girl laughs at the guy with the little pecker in that, I'm like, that's not funny, lady. I mean, I wouldn't have cut your face like they did in that, but it's still not funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the little Vienna sausage. That old man I used to work with, he was in his 70s. He'd get a thing of Vienna sausages for lunch every day at the grocery store, and he'd go, "I'm going to lunch. Got me a can of Monkey Dicks."
You talk about those Vienna sausages. That goes back to a Navy story too, because my dad, sometimes we would buy those. If my mom was at work, he'd get the little Vienna sausages or sardines. And he said when he was in the Navy back Vietnam era on a destroyer, and he said when they did movie night, that's the kind of things they had there for them to eat while they watched movies on the ship, with Vienna sausages and sardines. So that kind of became a tradition.
Kelly puts up there the snazberries. You know the story behind the snazberries?
Yeah, somebody was talking about it recently on Facebook, and they said
Yeah.
Google it. So I did Google it, and oh my goodness.
Yeah. For the people that don't know the reference, watch the Willy Wonka when they're licking the wallpaper and the things taste like the things. And yeah, apparently the author that wrote the Willy Wonka wrote another story, and Snazberries apparently is the wiener.
It's the wiener.
It is the wiener. So in the movie, he's got kids licking wiener flavored wallpaper.
Snozberry? Who's ever heard of a snozberry? Oh, I'm gonna get some.
Yeah. Very interesting. But yeah, so I'm kind of with you, Poe, as far as my final thought. I'm gonna be running into town tomorrow to get some water in the morning, but my only plans for the week is to play the challenges, play some Boom Patrol out. I will be shooting another video where I hopefully play better than my showing for tonight. I think I told you guys I was going to reshoot that video for tonight, try to do a little better, and I'm like, no, that's pretty funny that I suck. So I'm going to leave that.
My headset and the way you said that, it sounded like you said Boom Patrol, and that sounded like a B-80s movie to me. Boom Patrol would have like Corey Feldman or somebody.
Right. And again, don't forget to get into the Mandalorian Pinball FX. I will be doing a video on that as well. I'll put the ticker back up. NQ03, November Quebec Oscar 3. And the show is the password. Get in on that. If you have any questions, go to the Discord. Derek's already put it up. So, and we'll get your get the spreadsheets going on the stuff. The arcade challenge goes through Saturday night in the middle of the wee hours of the morning, middle of the night. And the pinball will end on Friday. So make sure you get in before Friday afternoon.
Right.
And I'll shoot videos on both of those. I think I did record a truck stim video that's going to come out tomorrow. I can't remember. I had a couple hours, so I did like 2 drives and a flight all in a row because it was nice out here. So I'm like, okay, let's do that. And then I just schedule them to release at some point. So I could have some of that stuff. So let's see. Who doesn't like bacon? Another half hour just went by. Terrorist. That's who doesn't like bacon. I guess is the answer. Anything like a dingleberry?
No.
Dingleberry. It sounds Christmassy. That's George Carlin. George Carlin. All right. So I guess we'll end the show here. Thanks for watching. For everyone that's been here the whole show, you guys are troopers. For those of you guys that pretended that you were here for the whole show, you're smart. You watch the beginning and the end, and then you get credit. But Stretch Armstrong would like to thank the Intellivision Gamer, Mike's Gaming Gala. Derek's here, of course. Kelly's here. Who else has been here? Farrell showed up.
Farrell, yep.
Of course, T-Dog was here for a lot of the time. Cannabis Kid, you've been here for most of the show, if not all of it.
That white boy Rick fellow was here.
Yeah, Rick's been here with a couple of different. Gideon was here. He's probably passed out right now because now we're talking like 3:30 in the morning for him. Retro Bliss was looking. Kelly's keeping track. I don't even have to remember. Kelly's just going through the list of who all was here.
Bliss.
And thank you again for the hat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're very welcome for the hat. I'm glad. Like I said, I was trying to think of what to get you for your birthday, and I know you like Popeye stuff, and I know you like those hats. And then boom, you're like, dude, they got a Popeye hat, and I'm like, order one. I just did.
And you were right to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, I'm gonna find us an outro. I gotta play the Greg music while I look for an outro because I know it's here. It is outro 12 seconds. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next week. Later.